friends, Dave here with Transfer Express, and today we are talking about how you could easily achieve embroidered looks with zero effort, embroidery machines, or even thread. And all of this with just your heat press. That's right, there's no digitizing software needed. By using the free EasyView online designer at transferexpress.com, and just one click of the mouse, you can match that embroidered look with any full color heat transfer option. So are you ready? Let's get to stitching. If you are new to Transfer Express, we are the world's largest supplier of custom screen printed and digital heat transfers, heat presses, free customizable designs, wholesale apparel, and expert advice to help grow your t-shirt business. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're kicking out new videos like this one every single week. Now today we are talking about Simbroidery, which is essentially a faux embroidery effect. We're going to take your file, digitize it as if it's going to be embroidered, then we're going to add some shadows and highlights to the thread to give it a realistic 3D effect, and bam, your artwork is transformed with an awesome embroidered look. Now this works on pretty much any file type. Easy Prints artwork, the clip art in the designer or the layouts, or your own uploaded art. Now this effect is perfect for emulating that embroidered look for a fraction of the cost, adding texture to designs, and even for some of those hard to embroider options like those weird backpacks, specialty tote bags, or anything else that's not going to be fitting in an embroidery hoop, but could fit on your heat press. Now, ordering heat transfers with this embroidered look couldn't be easier. So let's click on over to the EasyView online designer at transferexpress.com, and I'll show you how we can make it happen. Now that we're here in the online designer, be sure to have a full color transfer type selected. As cool as this effect is, it's not available with our screen printed plastisol ink transfers. So be sure to have the correct transfer type selected here on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. We'll click on print method here, select full color, and switch us over to our UltraColor Max transfers. Once we've got our transfer type selected, we can add our artwork. I do want to mention a few guidelines here and some tips for best results. First, this Simbroidery effect is for single images only. So gang sheets or orders including multiple pieces of artwork with UltraColor Max will have to be split up into individual orders. Of course, our UltraColor Max direct-to-film transfers have no minimum quantities and can be ordered at any size from 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch all the way up to 22 by 22 inches. Our second tip is for artwork details. The simulated embroidery effect works best with artwork that has clean, defined edges and solid colors. Avoid photos, gradients, distressing, and fades, as those types of details don't look the best when digitized. Third, you'll want to keep your type to a minimum of 18 points, or around 0.185 inches high. Any smaller, and the embroidery effect here may make it unreadable. It's also worth a note, this embroidery effect will slightly change the colors of your artwork, adding highlights and shadows to the simulated thread. Just something to keep in mind if color is a high priority on your project. Of course, all details should meet the minimum requirements for line thickness at 0.018 inches or larger. Now, you could build your designs using the thousands of pieces of customizable layouts and clip art, or simply upload your own vector or raster files. Of course, vector files like SVGs and PDFs or AI files are preferred, but we also take JPEGs, TIFFs, PSDs. They just may delay your proof a little bit. Once we set all of our sizing and colors along with quantity, we'll click our next button on the bottom right. Here in our options step, right at the top of the left side menu here, we've got a button for Simbroidery. One easy click activates the Simbroidery effect for this order. Now here with our UltraColor Max transfer selected, you'll notice when we click next, the order now automatically switches over to Approve with Approve for Artist selected down here on the bottom right. And the price adjusts right next to it at $26. This is just a reminder here too that you could only do one art file at a time. Gang sheets with multiple pieces of artwork will have to be submitted as separate files. Now speaking of these art charges, these are exclusive only to UltraColor Max. UltraColor Pro, Soft, and Stretch do not have any art fees associated with it, especially if you want to add Simbroidery. Any art time or prep is included in the price of the transfers. Now this is just to help keep costs low at just 6 cents a square inch with our UltraColor Max transfers. So any artwork fixes or adding this rad embroidery effect are available for just that small fee. Now for our UltraColor Max order here, once we add to cart and check out, we're gonna keep an eye on our email for the proof coming through. Once it arrives, we can review it and approve for it to be printed. Now proofs are gonna be ready for review within 1 business day if the order is placed before production cutoff. You can check all of those times on our current production cutoff and turn times right down there in the description. We'll put a link. Now once we approve our proof, it's off to printing. UltraColor Max turnaround times are the next business day if ordered before midnight Eastern. So it is just a tiny little short wait. Lightning fast transfers. Now while we're waiting, it's worth a note, for ordering this embroidery effect with UltraColor Pro soft or stretch transfers, your order is going to ship on the same date shown in the designer when you're ordering your transfers. No added time to your order's turnaround whatsoever. And now that our transfers have arrived, let's get to printing and take a look at this embroidery. I'm gonna print a whole smattering of them here so that we can see exactly what this looks like on a few different apparel options. Using our UltraColor Max direct-to-film transfers, we're gonna press these at 290 degrees for just 15 seconds. No need for a second press or covering and repressing. One press with a quick and easy hot peel, our transfers are applied. Now doesn't this just look so cool? It gives you that embroidered look without the effort of actually embroidering, and it feels nice and soft with these UltraColor Max transfers. Now for some examples here, you can see some look better than others. First off, I do want to mention any photorealistic or super highly detailed images like this little shark guy riding a jet ski, it wouldn't work out for embroidery with all of this detail. And with the simulated embroidery, you could see that you're not able to achieve all of that detail or those gradients that you get in the file with the actual stitching itself. So this is going to be something that you're going to want to avoid. Now, if you do have that complicated image with a lot of detail, but things are still kind of spot colors, like this eagle that we have right here, wow, did that turn out absolutely incredible. You can see the highlights and the shadows on the stitching through the wings here, and all of these like feathers, I guess you could call them, down to the talons and even the fills here in the tail and the head and the beak of this eagle. Really, really cool. Now, one thing though that you will notice is that some of the larger areas, will say the fill stitch here on white is very visible, but sometimes, depending on how fine of a line or how thin it is, the white kind of disappears, where you just almost get like this shadow effect, which is great, but you can see on like colors here, like this dusty rose or maroon, or that you could definitely see a lot more detail in the stitching, as well as this fine text and the fill over that white color. And this is stuff that you're going to be able to see when you do order the proof, so that you could see if it looks good or if you want to have it changed before you produce it. Here with black and white, you have the fill and a little bit of stitching, but you'll see the stitching come through much more when it's crossing over a dark color, as opposed to like this outer line. Let's shift on over to our black shirt here. Now you can see here on some of this white text, it is a very subtle effect. You see a little bit of the thread in that shadowing, and so it gives it that embroidered look without turning the white color into more of a gray. Here in large areas, you can see the patterned fill stitch a little bit more than you can say on this outer edge, where it's going to have that contour shift. But here on the Bennett Logistics, you can see where the letters come together to really give it that embroidered look. And the same here for Blue Ridge right here, with a nice shadow and highlight on these colored areas. Here's an example of black on black. This was black ink, so you do get that nice sheen and shine of a tone on tone with the highlights coming through on that faux stitching. How cool. Now here with like this Raiders hat, we do have white as the fill and kind of like this simulated outer lock here on the tail of this script. And man, does that just look absolutely incredible, especially on a foam front trucker hat that's nice and lightweight, almost like a screen print. You get that same embroidered effect. How cool is that? And that script and tail just looks fantastic. Now this effect looks awesome on everything from headwear to work shirts, tees, hoodies, accessories, and more. It's never been easier or cheaper to get that embroidered look, all without threads or needles. Now, thanks for watching. As always, be sure you're subscribed here to the Transfer Express YouTube page. Stay up to date on all of the t-shirt business tips, tricks, and inspiration that we're dropping every single week. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing.